Watching movies in Nigerian cinemas with Nigerian is a whole vibe that nobody talks about. Nigerians and their commentaries and their, side notes and their oohs and ahs is a whole flipping vibe, and I'm here for it. I enjoy watching Nigerian movies in Nigerian cinemas with Nigerians. Hi, my name is Noelum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And I literally just finished watching the movie Radio Voice, and I just want to talk about it. So why not come here and talk about it with you guys? Let's talk about that. Now, this movie is sweet, it's powerful, it's emotional. It talks about grief, it talks about second chance love, it talks about the struggles of being a single mom, it talks about the dynamics of an office workspace. Now, if you are not here for spoilers, that is your review. But if you know you don't mind spoilers, I'm about to go deep into what the plot of this movie is about. Please, you have been forewarned. Now, let's talk about the plot of this movie. This movie follows several characters actually, and it all ties well together. So, we have RMD playing the role of this man who is swallowed in grief. He has lost the love of his life, who is his wife Maiwa. Both of them co-ran a radio station. They live their life in love, all is well, but she gets diagnosed with cancer and then she dies. So he's dealing with the grief of that. This is 2 years after her death, and he hasn't even begun to start living his life again. On the flip side, we have Uche, who is a single mom, played by the incredible Nancy Iheme. She killed that role, if I might add, who is a single mom of a 10-year-old and is trying to do everything and anything to fend for her daughter and herself. Anything, I mean, including prostitution. Like, she has resorted to even, selling herself, her body, to be able to meet their basic needs, as well as pay her daughter's school fees in a school that she clearly cannot afford, but is insisting on putting her daughter there so that her daughter can have a better life than her. And then we have the character Blessing, who is played by the beautiful Damilola. And let me just pause to say this. I am so happy to see her again on the big screen. It was really nice. I have followed her since her days at Tinsel and then Flower Girl, which is the best rom-com that will come out of Nollywood. Let's not go there. And now I think she took a 5-year break and came back with this. And when I tell you that it was a banger, it was a banger. She killed the road Blessing to perfection. So Blessing was mentored by Mayowa, and she was her protege. She was prepping her up to take over being station manager at the radio station, as well as low-key prepping her to take care of her husband and replace her when she's dead. I know that sounds creepy, but that was what it felt like to me. And Blessing was doing a good job at taking care of RMD, but was failing woefully at managing the radio station. And the radio station was just crumbling at this point because RMD couldn't get over his grief to come and run the place. The people who is supposed to be running it are still sitting behind the decks and not taking charge. These are the three main characters that our story is following. But their stories get intertwined at a point where Nancy Iheme's character and her daughter, they get ambushed by her baby daddy, who is played by Timini, who wants to basically use her daughter to get money from his rich parents. He left her, he abandoned her, he abandoned her for 10 years and had the nerve to show up and tell her that she should bring the daughter, let him present to the parents, so that the parents should think he's responsible and give him money. So he basically starts terrorizing her life and her daughter's life. Her story now intertwines with RMD when one day, when she's going for her night runs, she drops her daughter off with her friend who works at the radio station that is owned by RMD. And when RMD comes in, he sees the daughter. He has a flashback of him and his wife wanting a child, and then he sits with the girl. They become friends. So in becoming friends, Nancy has to now become friends with RMD. Anyway, RMD saves them from her baby daddy. One time when he comes to their house in the middle of the night, banging and threatening to kill her, RMD comes, he rescues her. She starts to live in RMD's house, and While they are staying and living in his house, they basically shock him out of his grief. Their presence there just brought back sparks into his life, allowed him to begin to start living again. And while all this is going on, at the radio station, there's a hostile takeover about to happen by this OAP from the pit of hell. I cannot remember the character's name, but he's played by Demi. He's planning a hostile takeover of the radio station because, like I said earlier, RMD's character, whose name is Cairo, has just stopped coming to work, has just stopped being involved in the radio station, and the radio station has been struggling for over 2 years. So he's planning a hostile takeover, and he's the most selfish character in this entire movie. It was so annoying. I just wanted to punch his face. Obviously, Blessing, who is in love with Cairo, they tell him, he now starts to prep Blessing up to take over the radio station as station manager, and as well as prepping Uche to be the new hotshot OAP on their radio station. He succeeds at getting the both of them where they need to be. Blessing takes over and takes charge of the radio station. This character that was played by Demi was so annoyed by it, but he didn't have a choice. And then they now even made him start to share his show with Uche, who everybody in Lagos loved. Her presenting was so top notch, was so relatable. She started getting popular, people were liking her. She was like a small celebrity. This is somebody that went from doing, prostitution to now becoming famous and, earning an honest living to take care of her daughter. Now I remember that her baby daddy from the pit of hell got released from prison and started coming to the radio station to threaten her. Then this our OAP from the pit of hell as well. Since the baby daddy, the both of them now connive to destroy Uche's life, because Uche was the reason why everybody was like, oh, it was a better decision to take Blessing as station manager than this character played by Demi. This her baby daddy from the pit of hell said that one of his friends recorded him and Uche, doing the do in one of her ninth runs, and that he will, if he gets the video, if he leaks it, she'll be out of job, she'll be back to square one, and she would accept his proposal of using their daughter to get money from their parents. And Demi, this character, was just so happy that her career will be ruined and Uche will be out of the station and he will be the only OAP, and then Blessing will be out of a job and then he will become station manager. They released the sex tape. Uche is embarrassed, but the radio station stood behind her. The people of the radio station, that's her colleague, were solely behind her. They allowed her to rise up from the ashes and become the phoenix. Now, this is just a summary of the whole movie. I don't want to confuse you because, like I said, there were different characters. We're following different characters at the same time. So if I'm telling you this story, that story, that story, it might be a bit confusing. But this is just basically the gist of what the movie is about. Now, why did I like this movie? This movie was light-hearted yet very deep. It showed grief in a very grounded way, with the character Cairo played by RMD. It also shows the struggle of a single mom, her desperation, her resilience, her heart for her daughter, and how she was willing to do anything and everything for that child. It shows love, friendship, loyalty, and even workplace culture, the good, the bad, the shady. RMD did not only star in this movie, he also executive produced it. And I tell you that this movie was almost near perfect. The pacing was top notch. No unnecessary scene in this movie, and that's a lot coming from in Nigerian movies where they like to throw in unnecessary scene. No plot was dragged, nothing felt boring. I genuinely enjoyed watching this movie. It was paced right. The next scene came when it's supposed to come. No unnecessary scene, no unnecessary drama, no just one scene with brother Shaggy coming to say hello Havana. None of that. It was told beautifully. The acting, uncle. Everybody brought their A game. When I say everybody brought their A game, everybody acted well. The characters, they delivered, they executed their character roles perfectly, and to be honest, I was here for it. So my final verdict of this movie: Radio Voice was a vibe. It was such a vibe. It was a good movie. I absolutely enjoyed every moment of watching this movie. It's just a reminder of why Nollywood has us on chokehold. Those kind of movies that reminds you of why Nollywood is who it says it is. It was sweet, it was intentional, it was impactful, and I like the fact that while we were watching this movie, we couldn't tell if RMD was going at the beginning. We were not sure because they set the movie in a way where we thought that Cairo, RMD's character, was going to fall for Uche since she shocked him out of his grief. But it was just a big brother, younger sister kind of relationship, which was sweet to me. He ended up falling for Blessing, who has been there for him, holding his hands. Like throughout this movie, they tried to allude to the fact that he's possibly going to fall for Nancy Iheme. And if he had, I wouldn't have liked this movie because like that's the cliche way these kind of stories end. But they gave us the twist that the person who held his hand all this while was still the person who he loved. He just didn't just know how to get to that point. That's the point of moving on from grieving your wife and opening your heart up to loving again. It was this story was told beautifully, and I was here for it. The movie wasn't heavy or overwhelming. It was sweet, intentional, and really impactful. To be honest, I'm going to give Radio Voice a solid 8.5 over 10. If you've not watched it, you can go and watch it. If you've watched it already, let me know in the comment section what scene stood out for you. What was your favorite part of the movie? Let's chat in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos with your movie loving friends. I post every week on Tuesdays. I post books for you to read, movies for you to watch, and every other thing I get in between. So I know that for my oldies, I've been away from YouTube for 3 weeks. I just needed a break. I was getting burnt out. I just needed that break, and it was nice that I took that break. Please don't forget to like. Let me know in your comment section if you missed me. Tell me in the comment section and I'll be there to gist with you guys. And I'll see you guys next week Tuesday for the next one.